right, what's up, guys? We are here. The album's out, and we can finally jump into my favorite song we've ever made, I've ever produced. It's called Glass Half Empty. If you haven't heard it, go stream it right now. Let me know what you think. If it's shit, lie to me. But anyway, let's get into it. This is how the song goes. Anyway, so yeah, let's just jump in. The bass. Let's start with the bass. Let's start with the drums, how they're working together. On the chorus, the cool thing about this is, like, because it's 150 BPM, if you were actually at 150 BPM and it felt like that in the chorus, it would be really fast. It'd feel fast. But because we have half time, we can kind of play with the rhythms. The bass to me feels half time, whereas the guitars still have that speed to them, and the drums are obviously half time. So listen to what I mean. So instead of kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, you've got kick, snare, kick, snare, like that. And that's the feel of half time. On the drum bus, we've got a compressor. We got one of these things called a Fatso emulation. I wish I had the real thing. Our mix engineer has the real thing, doesn't he? And essentially, this is also an EQ that comes after it, and it does a bit more work. It's pretty simple in terms of the EQ. It's not doing a huge amount, but that is the bus we always use to just get the drums to just pump a little bit more and punch a little bit more and just sound a bit juicier. Let's just jump into the bass part. Yeah, so basically it feels half time, but we've got one that's just going ding, 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 essentially like matching the guitar part. And that's just an 808. That's just bass played in there. Now this is an amazing plugin. Spectre is such a fucking good saturation plugin. I talk about it a lot. What we're doing here is we're just poking through that bass frequency. I've talked about it quite a lot in videos. Basically, like, you want every element to poke through into a specific spot. And for us, normally, like a bass guitar, especially one that has like a bit of top end and you want it to punch through on like every system that you would listen to the song on, you kind of want it poking around 1K-ish. So you can kind of like listen around this area and throw it through, boost it in that range, and basically do it to taste. And the second you feel like, okay, there's enough of this now, I can really hear it, it's present, like it takes up enough space, then you probably got to a good place. But then we have these heavy, sort of, basically super sustained, half-time bass notes. And this is just power chords with a filter doing absolutely nothing. So that's that. Let's jump back out. Ooh, okay, yeah. Piano and the art print. The art print is sick. Like, this to me is a lot of the vibe. That's sick. I love that. Just crediting whoever did that, which was us. Idiot. Anyway, that was actually Pigments, which is a fucking sick synth. Arturia, I believe. And it's not going to load for me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This might be even the preset we used. But basically, that, and we did these little arps, pop them in there. They take up the mids in the blend. So, like, you've got the bass, you've got the arps here and that piano, and then we got the guitars that kind of sit on top. But the arps really add a lot of emotion, as you can kind of tell. Let's see what else we got. We've got some strings in here, have we? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, really simple, really cheesy, kind of like dancey disco strings. Sounds like probably a Nexus patch that we've printed, but them in there just adds like this kind of ethereal quality to the hooks, where you can see basically right what you're looking at is them just existing in hooks. So for me, that just creates that drama. When the hook comes, it's like, oh shit, there's a choir, there's strings. Like, it just makes you feel like this should be performed in a big space with a bunch of musicians and a bunch of people. And yeah, that's something we often do in hooks. Let's see what guitar part this is. Heavy. Okay, so this is interesting because to me, the bass we played earlier, we had one that was like dung, 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 dung. And now we've got dung, 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 dung. So this now is double time, basically. This is actually at 150, 146 here. And the cool thing is like the contrast between that chug, that fast, and then the low end kind of creates the like darkness that we have going on. And it glues the guitar part to the bass part. Let's see what this is when we add it all up. Yeah. That's everything right there. Woo. All right, I love this. To me, that is the whole song, and that inspires me to want to write another song, honestly. Like, having an instrumental that hits me emotionally. I don't know about you sitting there, but like, to me, that's kind of what it is. And then if you add the arp to that, yeah, it's just, that to me is the anthem. That's like, we like to put the kind of electronic music elements into songs where like it feels so ethereal, the way that bass moves, the way the harmonic stack kind of like blends with it and moves on top into all the sort of pockets, the thirds, the fifths, the sustained chords. Like, to me, that is what I want to make in music. And like, what we've done is we've just done it in different parts, right? That's why this song feels big to me, is we've got the piano playing one variation, we got the guitars playing their variation, we got the half-time bass, we got the double-time guitars. Like, it's a lot of things going on, but sometimes for tracks it works. And I think for a track as dramatic as this, like, it starts quite mellow. It starts like any pop song, really, if we're honest. Been waiting for something right. Been praying for sun to shine. I mean, not much going on, right? Like, pretty standard, and then we just get this. And to me, that is, like, that takes me on an emotional journey. But anyway, that's that. I'll quickly jump into that guitar tone for you, because I know someone's going to ask me about that, and it's ridiculous that I haven't jumped into it. So that's this. Ooh, we got some plugs that I don't normally use, I'll be honest. Yeah. Well, this is clearly on the guitar tones, and it sounds fucking amazing, so we'll be using this more. Virtual mix rack, we use that on everything, that's fair enough. Everything else is kind of our standard chain. Compressor, just give it a bit of, just pocket it a little bit, make it stay there, because in a chorus with so much going on, everything needs to stay in one spot, otherwise it's going to get lost. Got a limiter helping it again to kind of stay there and be in its pocket. And then we just made it a bit brighter. So, adds quite a lot of nice high end. Not the harsh type, the sort of like bright, aggressive high end that cuts through, and not the one that's gonna like break your ears if you listen too loud. I could honestly speak for hours on this track. This is, again, one of my favorite ones to make, because we really wanted to like make it dynamic, and we weren't trying to like copy and paste stuff. We really wanted to just kind of go the distance on it. And my last thing I'll take you through is kind of the bridge and just the vocal processing. And, you know, I'm happy to do another one on this one and dive deeper, but I like making these videos like somewhat digestible and not hours long. So let's just get there. And I call it a cry for help, but you call it a chorus. But as long as these records sell, I guess we just ignore it. Okay, so this was just like, let's go manic. Let's go heavy here. One of the cool things is like the crowd noise we added. Literally just searched for it on Splice, threw it in there. Thought it was kind of cool. It was kind of bare there. We wanted to like make it dramatic. When the crowd noise drops out, we just go so heavy that it's like, it's kind of a cool contrast. It's like kind of kids playing, laughing around in the crowd. Like the background is kind of like, oh, this is kind of cute, kind of jovial. And then we just hit you hard. So it's kind of like the transition and the contrast of the two really works to be like very, very intense. But then this is a build. So yeah. So again, harms come up in this one. The harmonies do a lot to like make the vibe feel euphoric. I like rising the harmonies up. So like harmonies at one level in the first chorus. Maybe they're not even in the first chorus. Then they're in the second chorus. And then the third chorus, you hike them up even more. Again, just makes it feel different. Makes it feel like a natural progression. What we did here is we just made sure that there were cutouts in this build-up. So these cutouts serve to make it a build. If we had just gone flat out and not cut anything out, it would have been too intense. Like you wouldn't be able to make that build and then raise the energy again. Because the key is, if you're doing something crazy and you want to do something dramatic in a bridge or like in any part of the song, the contrast has to be there. You have to like let the next part of the song level up. Otherwise, the human condition is just like, ugh, that was a bit of a letdown, I'm probably going to skip. So for us, we were like, what do we do from this super intense bit to get back to a massive chorus? It's like, there's too much energy here. So we said, you know what, let's just do something crazy, cut out everything and just put a sample in there that is in line with like the lyrical themes we've got going on. And we found something and we just threw it in there and we got lucky, it worked. So we just did a riser up into that, literally just a couple risers here. Let me just see what these guys are. They sound nice together.
I just hope that someday someone will love me.
And then that with the guitars, you know, that the rest was actually kind of did itself. We didn't have to do a huge amount to get where we wanted with it. But anyway, let's just quickly jump into the vocal. That's the last piece I'll give you on this, and then we will go our separate ways. All right, there's a lot going on in this vocal. I'll jump into it quickly. This was a really hard one to get to poke through because there's so much hitting in these choruses to make it feel this big. We had to slam it, basically. And so we got auto-tune, we got EQ taking out the low end, taking out a bit of mud. And then we got de-esser, noise gate, compressor, going really, really hard. I mean, let's see. So minimum 60 dB of gain reduction on that guy. Then we got my favorite preset of all time, Presence and Control in the Pro MB. One of my, actually not one of my favorite multi-band compressor there is, because you can split the bands and it's so intuitive. Pro Q3, which is similar, but it's multi-band EQ, dynamic EQ, if you want it to be. And that is just taking out more of that mud. And again, this is just basically all trying to get it to poke through. 6 dB of 40K, limiter. Then it probably got a bit harsh, so we used Soothe to take away some of the S's and some of the harshness. Then we hit another compressor to hit it hard. Then we hit channel EQ, taking out more mud. Then we saturated it to basically get more harmonics to push it through even harder. And then we soothed again, probably because it got harsh. And then limiter to get the level up even more. And then probably, took some mud out because we probably brought up all the mud when we were trying to get it really, really loud and really, really bright. All the mud, how do we deal with that? We've got to take some more of it out. And then Spectre to add, interesting, a bit of lows. So probably like a bit of the natural vibe of the vocals lost when you add that many plugins and you push it that hard. So we just got around 120, which is like the real low rumbly part of the voice, but it sounds quite nice if there's a bit of that in there. It just feels a bit, it's quite impactful when it hits. And we put that back in. But basically that's it, guys. Got the harms in here, Got the chorus bus right here, just to explain that one. So that's pretty much it. Got some effects on the choruses. Not a huge amount of effects, honestly. Like most of the instruments and the sends kind of contributed to that. But that's basically the tune. And then the final outro chorus. Tell me, what does it feel like? Actually, the last thing I'll explain is the bells. We love the bells. So that was made, I can't remember what instrument it was made in, but basically Luke fucking loves bells. And so he will always try and sneak a bell in there. And the thing is sometimes it sounds so cheesy, but sometimes it sounds fucking amazing. So in this one, in the outro, it felt really dramatic. It felt really like grand, and we decided to put the bell in there, which is fun. It's one of the best things about Luke and I working together is like we throw ideas at the wall, right? Like I'm like, what about this? He's like, nah, that's shit. Let's try this. Or he says, what about this? I'm like, no, that's like too wild. We have to distill it down. We have to do this. And like we always find a happy medium, which is brilliant and fun. But yeah, sometimes it's like a song like this where it just goes to so many different places. You have to try some stuff sometimes, you know? And that's why this is my favorite song. It's like, I feel like we've never taken this many risks on a song before. And it come out in a place where like, oh shit, it's catchy and, you know, I like playing it on loop. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I've probably been rambling way too much on this one. But it was my favorite song, and please forgive me. I hope you got a couple things from it. I'll be sure to do more explaining next time and make sure I dig in on all the plugins and stuff. But so I was a bit excited for this one. Anyway, sending love. We'll have a new one next week. And yeah, appreciate you guys so much. This was really fun. Okay, much love. Take care.